Hi everyone, Mary Gugesberg, owner and founder of MKG Parent Coach. Thanks for jumping in for today's Parent Pause. I really wanted to just take a moment and think about why we are nostalgic. Why at this time of year do we write so many recaps of what we did in the past year? What's happening? Why do we reflect? Why do we send holiday notes with a year in review? Why do we write for our businesses? Why do we write an annual report? And wondering, what are we trying to recreate? Are we longing for what has happened? Well, let's talk about nostalgia. Did you know that nostalgic, Merriam-Webster defines it as longing for or thinking fondly of a past time or condition? So do you long for past memories with loved ones, memories that you created with your kiddos? And you know, at holiday time, I think it's really easy for us to spend a lot of time wondering, are we creating memories for our kiddos? Are we recreating our own childhood for them? Sit and wonder. Did you know that there is a nostalgic quiz? Check out the show notes. I'll drop it in so you can take it yourself. And that, you know, this quiz, it explores things that we miss about when we were younger. You know, such as, this report gives you a ranking. So you would say 0 to 10, let's say, how much you miss or remember fondly. And it could be you miss family time. You maybe have lost loved ones and you miss that person so much. So where do you rank it on this? You miss your heroes. You miss being free from worrying. Don't we all miss that? Maybe you miss music that you grew up with. You miss toys. You miss shows, TV shows, or movies that we watched when we were younger. But there's so much more in this quiz, so I highly encourage that you take time, jump into that, and then have a conversation with your co-parent, with your kiddos. Am I trying to invite memories from my childhood, and how are they embracing or not? Let's talk about how you can create new memories that maybe someday your child, my children, will look back on with nostalgic themselves. And some ideas that I've seen people with, I know that this is popular because think of when people recreate photos and everyone is in the same position. They try to do like your kiddos are now in their adult shaped bodies and they're sitting on little swings that are much too tiny for them. Or you're taking your kiddos to places that were really special to you when you were a child, only to see that your own kiddos may not be embracing it the same way that you did, not looking at it as fondly. You're taking them camping, you're hiking, maybe you're going to sporting events that was really important to you when you were a kiddo, but they're not embracing. So how do you feel? How do you feel when you have put yourself out there and they're not embracing the same way? I want to give you encouragement first to pause, and we've talked about this in many. Pause, taking that time to be present, show up for yourself, be attentive to your feelings, your kiddos' feelings. So that was, the P is presence, the A is attentive. You listen to understand. When you take your kiddo to something and they're not embracing it the same way, let's just embrace. Let's be together and listen to understand. Ask for support. Sometimes we might have these visions and they're not lining up. That's where a coach is really helpful, maybe a family physician. And then the E is exploring together. So I have these dreams for sharing my memories, but how can we explore it together? I also want to talk about how can we create new memories so that someday our own kids look back with nostalgia themselves. And I have four ideas of ways that you can build this together. And one is traditions. And traditions such as family dinners, game night, Sunday brunch. And drop in the chat, after you watch this, drop in the chat, what are some of your ways that you're building these traditions in your home? I know someone who makes green eggs and ham on when they're celebrating Dr. Seuss Day at school. How fun is that, right? You're creating these unique traditions. Another way to build memories and create that nostalgic feeling for your kiddos is music. And I invite you to spend time exploring music that you grew up with and having conversations. Invite your kiddos to share music that they're embracing, dance together. It's fun to learn about their interests. And then I just want to use music as also a great way of accompanying our kids' mental health and our own. It's a great tool. Another way of building memories with your kiddos is play. When our kids were little, did we get on the floor and play with them? Of course. And that makes me think of a game that my kiddos used to love, and all of us, the four of us, would play. Even friends would come over, and I can't even remember who shared it. Someone gave it to our kids as a gift. Do you remember the game Hullabaloo? Here I go on that nostalgic. And it was so fun. You had these little pieces. I remember, I can picture our living room right now covered with these little rubbery type pieces with different shapes and activities on them. And we still to this day will talk about that game. And one thing that you had to do was do a funky dance. And then everybody would get into this. And it was just silly in a fun family enjoyment way. Actually even had to call my kiddo to say, what was the name of that game? Because I thought I had it right. And bummer, they don't make the game anymore. So I wish I still had ours. Maybe it's family playing together, like going skiing. If your kids are older, you're taking them skiing, skating, hiking. What if you did winter camping? Oh my gosh, how cool would that be, right? Maybe it's doing charity work together as a family. And it could be playing, could be spending time together. And it could just be, now I have adult kids and we do a lot of puzzles. I know it sounds silly, but we do puzzles and we have great conversations over it. We play cards. Some things that we've done all of their life helps us just slow down and be present. Remember, pause. So what are you doing? What are ways that you're building memories for your kiddos? Are you, I'm guessing, attending their extracurriculars? You're going to their activities. You're planning those outings. You are planning the charity work together. And maybe it's just this every day that you're creating these memories is when they are home, you're spending time with a family pet. You're taking the dog for a walk. You're buying a special toy for the cat or the hamster or whatever your family pet is. It creates those special memories that someday your loved ones will look back with that nostalgic. So as we come to close on 2022, I hope you find time. I hope you find time to pause, to reminisce, to look fondly on your own childhood, share those memories with your kiddos, and then keep exploring ways to create new memories for everyone. I wish you a very happy holiday celebration this week. Happy New Year to you. I'm here. Reach out if what I just shared to you, you're like, I can't even think of having time to play with my kids. It's a great time to add a coach into your lineup of care for you. Wishing you a safe and adventurous New Year's Eve, and we'll be back in 2023. Mary with MKG Parent Coach, wishing you all well. Take great care.